Welcome back to the Minding My Business podcast. I'm your host, Coach JD, and you are tuned in to the #1 platform to launch or scale your business by developing your business mindset. Hey, remember to hit that subscribe button. If you are getting any value from our discussions, hit that subscribe button, show us some love. Episode 3. Today we're talking about sales that tips the scale in your business. Today's discussion is going to be how you should look at sales in your business and in your organization, sales leader, if you want to scale. Now, the key word in what I just said there is scale. If you don't desire to remain a small business or entrepreneur, if you don't want to always own your job, when we say own your job, being the sole person that has to be there for your business to make money. Now, the word scale and sale is only separated by one letter, and that's that C. So hopefully today I can help you to see the light, the green light to sales. Let's get into it. It's time to go. All right, Minding My Business family, I'm going to give you some tough love today because we didn't treat sales correctly. If you really think about it, the way that we looked at sales, especially prior to getting into business, I'm pretty sure is not how you look at it now. To be honest, you treated sales like that ugly girl in middle school. You know what I'm talking about, that ugly girl in middle school, and then the summer came, you got into high school, and all of a sudden you were like, is that sale? That sales? Man, she look good, don't she? Right? As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, we look at sales differently. Prior to having a business or being in an entrepreneur or sales leadership position, you hear things like, oh, I don't want to do sales. I can't stand doing sales. Oh, I don't like salespeople. We treated sales wrong. And I want to help you have the right perspective, especially for your business, on how you should be looking at sales, especially if you're still having some trouble with that. Now, this is a topic that we discuss in our book, The Heart of Sales, but we're going to talk about a couple of key things today on the podcast to help you to transform your business. I'm going to give you 5 unattractive features of sales. Why you treated sales so badly. And I'm going to help you to shift your perspective to look at those unattractive features and see how when your perspective develops, your results will develop along with it. You ready to go? All right. Remember, always take notes. What you write down is what you keep. Okay. So #1, an unattractive feature of sales was the law of averages. It's called the LOA, law of averages. Now, what that is when someone is telling you that you have to have a certain amount of calls to receive a certain amount of appointments, therefore having a certain amount of sales. And when someone is introduced to sales, that can seem very unattractive. They think to themselves like, oh man, I got to put that much work just to be able to do that and then just to get this. And the law of averages can come and look very unattractive to them. Makes you kind of think, what is it that makes people deter from law of averages? Is it because they don't want to put the work in? They want easy money? It could just sometimes be very complicated. I've seen sales organizations who have multiple layers in their sales process, and so it makes it very complicated. You got to do this to do that, to do this to do that, to do this to do that. You know what? It gets a little annoying as well. So I don't disagree with that. You should have a simplified law of averages that helps someone to understand what are the key factors or activities that I need to do to be able to receive a result. But let's shift the perspective, okay? Instead of looking at that as an unattractive feature, I want you to see how it's a very attractive feature of sales. Yeah. You know, law of averages, what it allows you to do is to have a predictable process. This is going to create clarity for your sales team, for your business on what actions need to be done at what level to be able to receive a result. It also creates that accountability for you and your business to know that you're putting enough action into a certain thing to get what you want out of it. This is an old time phrase that you get out what you put in. So this shouldn't be anything that's new to anyone, but that is what a law of averages process does for you. It's very attractive and it's very predictable, and it helps you as a business owner to be able to scale your business because you can build on that predictability. Another thing that the law of averages is going to do, especially when you have a coach, a trainer, or a sales leader that is looking at that data, it's going to help them to really pinpoint where it's going to help them to pinpoint where you need to focus your energy so that you can improve some part of your sales process. Now, we're not just talking if you're a call center or if you're a direct sales organization. You could be a restaurant. Looking at how many customers come in, how many orders go out, what are the average sizes of those orders, how many people come back that you know are return customers. Being able to capture that data and then looking at that data will allow you to know where we could put more energy. Are your people telling people to come back? Are they asking people to leave reviews when they are leaving the restaurant? And are they providing the level of service that will create return customers? This can apply to every business, and it should be the way that you look at the law of averages. The second unattractive feature of sales was having to influence people. Oh my gosh. How many times did I hear people reject doing sales because I don't want to have to convince anyone. I don't want to have to influence anyone. And it was just so unattractive. But as a business owner, as a sales professional, and as a sales leader, let's shift the perspective. Why did we have a problem wanting to influence people? I think it goes into my third point, so I'm going to wait on that one there. But let's look at the reality of the day and age that we live in. Do you realize that your biggest competitors, big businesses, influence people? Not only that, it has become very profitable to become an influencer. Literally everyone in 2024 wants to be an influencer, someone who's able to influence people. So the same thing that when we were in a position where we were being asked to influence has now shifted to something that is mandatory and really important in business. Now, what does it mean to influence someone? Sometimes we have the wrong perspective on influencing someone. Influencing someone doesn't mean manipulating them for your own benefit and own good. Influencing them does not mean to be a scam or to be unethical in the way that you go about sharing a service and a benefit of a service with someone else. What it means is that you put enough energy, passion, and sincere thought into how you're going to communicate that to someone. And hello, everyone is influencing. Your children are influencing you on where they want to eat and what clothes they want to buy. Your spouse is influencing you on where they want to live. Your job is influencing you. Everyone is wanting to be influential, and that is something that we should all desire. So let's not knock sales for the fact that the need to be influential was a mandatory to be great in sales. It is absolutely important as a business owner to be able to influence. Now, you can either look at it in an attractive way or be a part of that small party of people who continue to complain about how people don't support businesses, small businesses. They don't support Black-owned businesses. And instead of complaining about those things, we have the power to say, just like our competition, just like the big box stores, we too have a voice and have the power to influence people on why they should use our service and why when they come and do business with us, they will receive top-notch level of service. If you don't talk about it, who is? Who is going to convince your customer that you've put enough work and thought into their experience and you want them to come and see it? So remember, influence is definitely needed. Now, the third unattractive feature that we looked at sales and and this one really got a lot of people. This one right here is huge, is having to deal with rejection. No one wants to deal with rejection. And as I was stating, this is one of the things that I think tied into number 2, which is why people didn't want to influence, right? It's because in influencing, you may be successful or you may not be successful in influencing that person, and hence bringing you to rejection. So having to deal with rejection is probably the number 1 reason why sales was seen as an unattractive thing. But in business, we understand that sales is absolutely the bottom line. It is the green light that gets you to go. So how do we change our perspective about that? Before we do that, let's talk about rejection. And some of the reasons why we also want to avoid rejection is because people want to avoid getting their feelings hurt. You know, I mean, if you're honest with yourself, not too many people are signing up to get their feelings hurt. And it never feels good, really, when someone tells you no, or you are trying to go to an open door and you get rejected. This can sometimes stop people from doing things that they need to do. So you want to start that business, but you're scared that you're going to get rejected for the loan. Or you're scared that the marketplace is going to reject your idea as being valid. It's something that's going to be of service to your marketplace. So instead of dealing with that rejection, we just don't do it. Another reason why people really didn't want to deal with rejection is the pride of not wanting others to feel like you need them. You know, like if you ask for something or if you present something and someone rejects it, you know, the pride on the inside of us can sometimes stop us to say, well, you know, that's all right. I didn't need it anyways, right? Lies. You did need it. You did want it. You did desire it. And what we have to do is just accept that rejection is a part of life. Rejection as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and as a sales leader helps you to build resilience. And when you can build resilience, almost even becoming immune to rejection, it is an absolute superpower to that entrepreneur, that sales leader, and that business owner. Think about the stories that you have heard. Even throughout your timeline, how many stories have you stopped where someone is sharing how life rejected them in some way, shape, or form? Some of the best speakers, I think his name is Inky Johnson, who lost the mobility of his arm while playing football and became one of the top motivational speakers. And having that resilience to overcome and to build a life. And we see so many stories like his and others of resilience, and we inspire to be like these individuals. However, that is through the door of rejection. See, if you always run from rejection, you'll never build that muscle. And so the entrepreneurs and business people who start businesses and have already dealt with rejection in a certain way, and they have shifted their mindset on how they look at it, are at a higher percentage going to be more successful than those that will simply fold the moment that someone tells them no. So that unattractive feature was meant to build you as well. I want you to think about where you fold, where you let your pride get in the way, and instead of going after what you want, you say, never mind, because the fear of getting my feelings hurt is just too much. And that's where you want to build your resilience. Get the no's. You know, in sales, we teach salespeople that every no leads to a yes. And if you even break down your commission, if you're in sales, think about this. You're actually getting paid for your no's. You're like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. Remember law of averages? You need a certain amount of activity to get a certain level of results. So if you look at your day, your week, your month overall, it's not just the sales that you get paid for. When you look at your commission check, you had to go through your law of averages to get to that. So if you take your commission check and you divide it by all of the contacts that you had to make, the yeses and the nos, you even got paid for those nos. Yeah, it's all about perspective. So shift your perspective on rejection. Allow it to help you build the right mental muscle to be successful in business. All right, let's go to number 4. Unattractive feature in sales. Fluctuating sales. Fluctuating commission. Another way that people have said it, inconsistent pay. Man, it's, sales, you never know what your pay is going to be. And it's just, I don't want to do sales. People did that, and that was an unattractive feature. And I get it. Being able to know exactly what you're going to make is very attractive. It's very attractive to feel safe in what is coming in as you're creating your budget, and having the control or the sense of control of your life to know what you can count on. And that is definitely one of the things where sales is going to test that. Now let's look at the business side. As an entrepreneur, you realize that the fluctuating revenue is a beautiful thing. I mean, just think about it. Inflation has raised the cost of everything. And what do you hear most people complain about that are in jobs, whether they're making 6 figures or not? Hey, the cost of everything went up, but my pay didn't. See, what was so attractive on this side of this consistent pay, as the cost of everything around you goes up, but your pay does not go up, it becomes a problem, right? So what entrepreneurs and business owners have identified and realized is that the fluctuation in pay and controlling that is such a beautiful thing that I can put in action. I can create products. I can bring things into the world that actually can create more increase in my pay, and it doesn't rely on someone else telling me. Now, of course, you still have the risk. Nothing in life comes without risk. But there's still a risk that fluctuation can go down. But again, that's depending and that's based on how you approach your business. How do you set up your business? What resources are you using to help you to continue to build your business? Stay in this community because we're going to talk about things that's going to help you to have more positive fluctuation than negative fluctuation. But at the end of the day, there is no limit to what you can create on a daily or on a monthly basis when you are an entrepreneur and a business owner. So it has been the most attractive feature of sales. When you saw sales walk into high school, that fluctuation and ability to grow your income the way that you want has probably got to be the finest thing about being in business. So now let's look at that fluctuation and let's turn it in our favor by making sure you have the right tools, the right knowledge and mindset to take advantage of it. You can also do that in your career. This is not limited to only business owners and entrepreneurs. In your career, you have the ability to move and to promote and to get promoted, but this again comes through the need and the desire to develop yourself so that you can increase your income. And if there's an opportunity in your business where there's maybe a performance-based aspect, don't be scared of it as a sales leader or as someone who's moving into another position in a company where maybe my base pay goes down, but I have the opportunity to create more because there's a commission structure. Don't think, oh, I don't do sales. I don't like sales. Remember, you treated sales wrong in middle school. She fine in high school. All right? So take that position and have the confidence to know that there are resources that can help you out with that, like this platform. All right, let's close it out. The 5th and final unattractive feature, you ready for this one? To sales that caused us and caused people to miss out on the benefit of sales is simply you didn't know her. You didn't know sales. Just be honest. You said, I don't want to do sales. And it's because you didn't know sales. You didn't walk up to sales. You didn't hang out with her at lunch. You didn't talk to her. You just heard rumors about her, and it just spread. And because of that, it created a fear based off of ignorance of not knowing sales. Or you had a very small interaction with sales, and it wasn't a great interaction. Maybe she was having a bad day. Let's just talk about the field of sales directly. Maybe you've had an experience with a bad sales organization or a bad salesperson, and that is absolutely possible. But just like anything in any position in life, there's the good, there's the bad. We talk about bad apples in life all the time in different professions that are very admirable and good professions. So don't allow one instance or one experience, negative experience, to frame your mind on what sales is. You really didn't know sales or understand sales from a technical perspective and an educational perspective. So here's the attractive thing. Sales is down to earth. You can get to know sales. This is a skill set that will pay you and will help you to build your business and, remember, scale your business with sales. Now, when you have a sales process, you can duplicate yourself, which will allow you to start working more on your business rather than always having to be the person that's in it, okay? So sales allows you to do that, but to scale your process, you will need to get to know sales. I would recommend getting yourself a coach, getting certain content, books that can help you with that. And especially for each industry, sales will look different in certain businesses. So it's going to look different in a restaurant business than what it looks like for a call center and what it may look like as a car repair or automotive repair place. I've coached probably over 50 different industries, and in each industry there are similarities in their sales process, and there's going to be differences that I've had to coach around and to help them to get to the results that they need. So if you have questions and you're going to need some help with getting to know sales or helping your business, your team members to get to know sales better, just leave me a message. You can email me at mindingmybusinesspodcast@gmail.com, and I'll send you some information on how you can get some help getting to know sales. Well, team, that's it for today. I want to thank you for sitting in on this conversation. Leave some feedback. Remember to subscribe, share this with someone who might need it, and come back for episode 4 because we got some more for you here on Minding My Business. I'm your coach, J.D. Auguste. Have a good one.